Hey guys, this is Bhav Tripathi, and I'm so excited to do this video for you guys. And this video is about AI, obviously, but this is a topic that I get asked a lot. And the video is why building with AI matters more than simply understanding AI. And what I'm trying to say is build more and talk less. And the reason is AI literacy has quickly become one of the most talked about priorities in any company. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most misunderstood topics. The reason for that is many organizations today equate AI literacy with learning how to use ChatGPT or say prompt engineering or basically staying current with the latest LLM model. Now, those skills are useful. You need to keep up to date with those skills, but those are not enough to successfully transform your company around AI. Real AI literacy isn't about becoming an AI engineer. It's about developing enough first hand experience with building with AI to understand where AI creates leverage, where AI breaks down, what trade offs emerge along the way. Essentially, getting on the floor and getting your hands dirty. The leaders who thrive or who will thrive over the next decade won't necessarily be the ones writing, say, Python code or code, but they will be the ones who have spent enough time building to ask better questions, challenge assumptions, and lead AI transformation with confidence. And again, AI literacy is not just learning ChatGPT. Now, I really think that the companies that succeed with AI won't have the best prompt engineers because AI can do that, but they will have the most AI literate leaders. Over the past year, one topic has surfaced nearly in every executive conversation I've had, and it goes like this. We need to improve AI literacy across the organization. What I don't agree with is how many organizations think AI literacy, what it actually means. The conversation almost always starts with, hey, we need our team to learn ChatGPT or Claude, or what about prompt engineering? Or can we come up with some image tools? That is not AI literacy. um AI literacy doesn't mean you have to be technical. It's strategic. Now think about financial literacy. No CEO ever is expected to become an accountant, but they should know the numbers really well. No board member is expected to understand every tax regulation in every country. Yet, effective leaders understand enough about finance to ask the right questions, evaluate risk, and make informed decisions. So, the same thing applies to you don't need to become an AI engineer to become an AI literate, but you do need enough practical understanding to lead a company, to lead an organization that's increasingly built around AI. And reading about AI, again, isn't the same as building with AI. And I think this is where many organizations unintentionally fall short. Because AI literacy isn't something you develop by reading articles, attending conferences, or watching videos or product demos. Those are great activities that create awareness, just like this video. But they rarely create that deep understanding, the domain expertise, and that's where you gotta get your hands dirty. Over the past couple years, I've intentionally spent hundreds, maybe thousands of hours building AI search platforms, building AI native operating system, workflows, AI agents, and dozens of prototypes. Staying late in the night, not because I want to become an engineer, but because I want to understand how AI actually behaves once you move beyond the keynote demo. When you build something, it changes the conversation. Now, there's a huge difference between, say, reading about AI, spending 4 hours trying to get an AI agent to behave the way you imagine it. But that's where the real learning begins in the trenches. You discover that context when you're working with agents disappears, workflows break, models hallucinate, and projects that look like weekend experiment suddenly require like an architectural decisions. Now, those kinds of learned experiences completely change the conversation you have across the organization. What happens is you begin to understand why engineering pushes back on certain requests, or why legal asks uncomfortable questions, why IT focuses on governance, why product teams obsess over edge cases, and why what looked like a 2-week project can quickly become a 2-month initiative. In fact, you start to appreciate these questions a lot more after you learn to build or you build it yourself. But importantly, AI raises the leadership bar. I think AI hasn't really fundamentally changed leadership because that doesn't change. But what it has done is simply pushed all of us to raise the literacy bar, because the leaders who will thrive over the next decade won't necessarily be the ones writing code or writing Python or building your MCP servers, but they will be the ones, just like you and me, who have spent enough time building to understand where AI creates leverage, where human judgment still matters, and what can realistically be automated. What are the trade-offs, which are worth making? But perhaps most importantly, what questions to ask before a project even begins, right? Now, that's a very different skill set than, say, a prompt engineering skill set. And again, these are the kind of things that every executive will eventually need, because only when you build, you can ask better questions. So then the obvious question is what this means for leaders, the future leaders, people like you and me. I think the organizations who are making the fastest progress with AI aren't necessarily the one using the newest or latest LLM models. They are the types of organizations whose leaders have invested enough time building with AI to move beyond the hype and develop real judgment by building. Because ultimately, AI literacy isn't measured by how many prompts you have written or agents or stuff like that, but it's measured, or it will be measured, by the quality of the decisions you make after you try to build something yourself. And to sum it up, AI literacy is often framed as a tech problem when it's really a leadership capability. The goal isn't to turn every executive in your company into an engineer, but is to develop enough hands on experience that strategy becomes grounded in reality rather than product demos. That's all I have today. So thank you for watching. This is Bob. And if you really like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.